What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Inside the Force. You are getting double episodes this week of Inside the Force. Just came out with an episode with Martin Donison, who kind of sat in for Hannah last week because Hannah was out working. But Hannah is back with me this week. How are you, Hannah?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had Martin kind of lined up for Thursday of last week, but this didn't work out. So we finally recorded something on Sunday and just put it out there. So we really don't have any reactions from that episode, because we're getting this in and putting this out this week as well.
Well, that just means we have more reactions next episode.
Exactly. We'll have more to talk about next week from everybody talking about the little news that's out there from Star Wars.
Although I will say, if that one thing is true, the one thing that came out yesterday,
Yes.
that's going to be big.
Wait, yesterday? You mean today, or was that yesterday?
Today, last night, today, this
Was
morning.
it last night?
I don't remember. My internet was out.
I think you're right. I think it was last night, actually, maybe.
My internet was out, so I have no idea.
Yeah. I've heard that a few times. A couple of people at work had said their internet went out.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about the news that Hannah's hinting at a little bit. I got to get her reaction a little bit from our Comic-Con discussion that me and Martin had. And then there's some, going over some new reveals that some releases coming out. But of course, thanks to our patrons as always for the support. You guys have been fantastic and interacted with us and all that stuff. So keep doing that, getting all this stuff up there for you on there. So appreciate the support, guys. So Hannah, this last episode, we talked about things that happened at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
Wasn't a lot. I mean, this was a very low-key Comic-Con in all standards, technically. There wasn't any really big major studios there.
Which is kind of weird for San Diego.
Yeah, it is, I guess. But then you kind of think about it, and like Superman already came out.
That's true.
Fantastic Four already came out. It's like, I don't know what they're pushing, There's nothing really coming out the rest of this year from those studios. Obviously it's a comic. We're talking about comic book movies. And so Lucas, obviously Star Wars didn't really have a presence either.
Right.
But for the first time ever, George Lucas made an appearance there.
Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah. So that was a big ticket. And he was there, obviously talking a little bit about Star Wars, but mainly about his new museum that is opening called the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. And he's talks about how he's got all of these like props still from like the original trilogy and the prequels. And if you really think about it, I mean, it's got to go somewhere, I mean, what's he going to do with it? He can't take it with him. So, and I believe this thing was originally supposed to be built in Chicago.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there was talks about it being built in Chicago for a long time, but then ultimately it's landing in Los Angeles, and it's going to be opening in 2026. So there's that. Not bad.
I think it's pretty cool because I think the thing is we forget that George Lucas is a part of, dadgummit, what is it called? Light and Magic.
Oh, Industrial Light and Magic? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, he started it.
He started it, and that has been revolutionary in cinema.
Oh, totally.
And George Lucas, we can argue with Star Wars, was revolutionary in cinema. So it makes sense that he would say, here's a museum.
Yeah, yep.
Instead of like, oh, it's just for Star Wars geeks. It's, no, this is how we revolutionize cinema as you know today.
Well, I'll be interested to get your take next week because Martin and I also recorded a council sessions that I'm putting out next week,
Oh,
and it's the topic is basically Lucas's legacy, and we kind of debated on the main question is how and how is his legacy going to always be remembered?
okay.
Because if you think about it, the way I brought it up was, my generation and probably your generation are probably the last people that really truly know that he created Star Wars.
That is true.
And like my 11-year-old daughter who loves Chewbacca has no idea who George Lucas is.
Right.
And to her, Disney creates Star Wars. So at what point, how can Disney keep that legacy, and will they? I mean, at some point, like 10, 15, 20 years from now, is George Lucas going to be, how is he going to be remembered?
Right.
When it's not when we're all gone, it's because if you think about it, like when you walk into Disney, there's a statue of Walt Disney. Like you
Right.
always know Walt Disney started this. He doesn't own Star Wars anymore. Like it's not his anymore. So it's like, how do you preserve that? So anyway, it was a really good discussion. I'll let you think about it for a week.
Yes, thank you. I will need time to think about that.
Yeah, because I'll tell you one thing that I proposed was that I think Disney should do kind of a animatronic thing like they did with Walt of George, or do some kind of story or documentary or something that kind of preserves that legacy that he was the creator of Star Wars.
Maybe instead of the Hall of Presidents, they should do something like the true, like maybe it's called like the True Imagineers of Disney, or
Ooh,
the OG, like obviously not OG, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
about the people who truly set trends in the early years of Disney. And you would not only have Walt, you would have Roy,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have George, and you would have all these other people that you might not know about, but you would see how influential they were in the beginning of Disney, both parks, movies,
Yeah,
television, and you can kind of see. So it's like a combination of Spaceship Earth and Hall of Presidents.
yeah, yeah. Totally, I could see that.
I think that'd be really, really cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. That'd be really neat. Of course, they try to get him to talk about Star Wars a lot, but he didn't really go for it. So I did read. I actually didn't have this in my notes, but I did read something. A couple rumors are floating around out there. So Hannah, we probably might go a little longer than we thought, but
We always
so
do.
so here's an interesting one. And I think this may have come from Bob Iger. Did Bob Iger did he do a shareholders call recently? He might have did a shareholders call recently.
I
So
have no idea.
I feel like I read somewhere that he was doing a call. So anyway, the Star Wars Holocron posted, which they have pretty good insider knowledge. They said that it's been revealed that there's plans. It's been revealed the plans for the post Episode 9 era, and it is these things. It's one. It will be similar to the Mandoverse with multiple stories. The first story is Daisy Ridley's New Jedi Order, and it will build towards a culminating event that brings back old characters.
So we're just Avengers Infinity War.
So we're doing Infinity War, basically. Yeah.
But I thought we're doing Infinity War with Ahsoka, with Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think we're doing that they're doing that on the level of Thrawn, right? I think that Thrawn's the big bad in that.
Look, this is just my opinion. My opinion alone. I don't speak for the company. Why are we repeating? Why can't we do something new?
I mean, it's a good question. I think I think they obviously don't want to. They don't want to do the trilogy aspect.
Right, of course, because what was one of the biggest backlashes they got about the sequels? It reminded people, like, especially The Force Awakens, everyone's like, oh, this is just a rehashing of the
Hmm.
original trilogy.
Yeah, right.
So it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying, why can't it just be an anthology?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have the answer. I will tell you that the only thing that I would say this makes sense for is if you do the Vong.
The Yuzon Vong. I was actually just about to say, now if the Yuzon Vong are coming back,
You do that.
then
That's how you culminate an event.
I was about to say, then now we're talking.
Okay.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking. I'll be okay with that because,
Yeah.
like, I know that the Nihil. Well, actually, I don't know this. I assume this because there's so many similarities between the two. The Nihil were clearly inspired by the Yuzon Vong, in my opinion.
Mm. Yeah, I
Clearly,
can see that a little bit. Yeah.
well, just from the organicness of their ships and the
Hmm.
fact that they can't be detected by the Force. Those
Yes.
were two key things that made the Yuzon Vong such a threat
Yes.
to
True.
the Jedi and the Republic at the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Two of the biggest things.
You know, I
So,
mean, there's a possibility too that the Vong, maybe they don't even have the Vong in this universe anymore. Like that, maybe they don't make them canon. Maybe they somehow just bring the Nihil back, and then they're the threat. Because
and that
if
would
they're
make
if
sense.
they're similar, then yeah,
And that would make sense because then all of a sudden you have a tie back to the High Republic.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But the Nihil, like, I think the only thing about the Nihil that's so interesting and different from the Yuzon Vong is the Yuzon Vong's a race. The Nihil, you're like inducted into their cult.
Yeah, they're like a gang, right?
It's
Yeah,
I would call it a cult
or a
personally,
cult. Yeah, exactly.
just
Yeah,
because it's not just like it's that next level. You
yeah.
are indoctrinated into this, which is why you can no longer be sensed by the Force. Like it's a whole thing.
Hmm.
At least that's what it seems like. I haven't gotten that far into the books, but based on the descriptions that we hear and the people of the Nihil when they're talking, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. No, I think there's always there's always fans, including myself sometimes. You hear us mentioning how there's just a slew of EU books that you can adapt. You don't have to make them canon. You just take the stories, adapt them, and make them canon. And the Vong is, I mean, you just I mean, there's nothing else to do besides that, really.
Really. And
And
like
it's
that,
right there for you to do.
yeah. And that's why I thought Kylo Ren and Rey were always brother and sister for the longest time.
True. Yeah.
Because that would
They
have,
probably
like,
should have been.
not twins, but brother sister, because that's a huge part of the EU.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
part. And like how Kylo Ren can manipulate minds, and because she's so young, he can manipulate her mind to thinking she's waiting for her parents and not waiting and not confused why her brother tried to sit. Like it's all. I'm sure I shared that theory in another episode. It's a pretty in-depth theory, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, there is a
Yeah.
lot of inspiration you can take from those books.
Yeah. Totally agree.
But the one thing I don't want to take for inspiration is when Chewie dies. I don't want Chewie to die.
Nope.
So
Definitely
can
not.
we just skip that inspiration, please?
Yes. Absolutely. And I believe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that the Yuuzhan Vong show up in the New Jedi series, the New Jedi books, the New Jedi Order books. That's kind of the storyline that I think it happened in. Correct.
It took place 20 years after Return of the Jedi.
Um, 20. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's
Yeah,
right.
20 years after, like over 20 years after the Jedi.
Yeah, I was
Like
about to say it might have been a little longer than that, but
like the beginning of that.
because Jedi, yeah, because Luke had established the order,
Yeah,
and
it's already established.
yeah, and like the Solo twins were
They're old. They're
they're
older.
older, they were Jedi at the time, blah blah
Yep.
blah, and he
We
had a
already have Anakin, who is their younger brother.
Yes, and they had Ben Skywalker also.
Ben Skywalker came later in that section because the Yuzon Vong, because Mara Jade, who was a Sith assassin,
Yes.
who ended up falling in love with Luke when she was supposed to kill Luke, she couldn't have kids. And she was found in a situation with a Yuzon Vong. And they helped each other to survive.
Mm.
And the Yuzon Vong, in their escape, cried into a vial and threw it at her and said, that'll help cure you. And Mara's like, so there was a whole chapter where the Jedi Council is debating whether or not Mara drinks this. She chooses to drink it, and she becomes pregnant with Ben.
Oh, interesting.
So, like...
Yeah, so it is the New Jedi Order.
Yeah, it's a New Jedi Order, but it takes
series.
place... It's the beginning of that part of the EU takes place 20 years after Return of the
25
Jedi.
years.
25?
Well, no, you're right. 20 is 25 ABY. So yeah, that would be 20 years after.
Yeah, 20 years after, but it just is like 20 plus.
So it's 20 to 29, it looks like.
Because Jason, spoilers, sorry everybody, but when Jaina...
Well, they're not canon, so
yeah, when Jaina has to kill Jason,
yeah,
because he turned the dark side, one of Jason's last thoughts is speaking through the Force to his wife and kids, get out of here. So we're talking about a huge span of time. And I like Jason and Jaina's story is just so fascinating because they're so intertwined with the Force, and yet you see how Jason just slowly spirals into the dark side. Like it's a huge battle for him, and you see Jaina just like struggling with it so much for her brother.
Yeah.
And then Han blamed his son Anakin for abandoning Chewie after Chewie tried to save people, but Anakin's like, I had no choice. I had to leave Chewie, otherwise we'd all die. And then Han never forgave himself when Anakin shortly died after that. And then Jason felt like it was his fault. Like it's a whole... The Skywalker family just can't catch a break.
Yeah. Oh man, they need to do this.
I'm telling you, and I'm just scratching the surface of what everyone is going through.
You can make 10 years worth of movies about this, and it would be all good.
It would be great. Absolutely could.
Because this is according to this, it was basically a 4-year war. The Yuzon Vong War was about 4 years long. So it's like a Clone Wars almost.
Yeah. So you could even do an animated TV series about it.
Oh yeah, but you would. Oh god, this would be so awesome in live action. Oh,
each of those books could have been.
It would make so much money.
To
do this, that Jedi fighting this. Oh my gosh.
That part of the EU is so chock full of inspiration.
Yes, totally agree. And you got to believe, I got to believe Filoni's thinking about this as a chief creative officer, that this is what you got to do.
Well, that's also why I think the Nihil were inspired by the Yuzon Vong.
Yeah.
And maybe there's some copyright we're not aware about. But that doesn't mean you cannot take inspiration.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Yuzon Vong War is the centerpiece conflict of the New Jedi Order. I mean, that's, if you're building the New Jedi, the New Jedi Order is the movie that Rey is going to be in. So you better be building to this.
What is scarier for Jedi to face than something they can't even trace?
I know. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
And they can't even trace their ships because their ships are also organic.
Yes, that's right.
And also, the Yuzon Vong are terrifying looking.
Yes.
They're like star heads.
Yes. You know what's funny? You know what they kind of remind me of, and I'm looking at a picture of them right here. And this is going to sound weird, but do you remember that movie? Well, they look a little more terrifying than that, but they this kind of. Do you remember that movie Galaxy Quest that Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver,
Yes.
and they were on a TV show that's like kind of like Star Trek, but then it ended up being like real.
Yep.
The bad guys in that, they were like these big green creatures. And I swear I felt like they looked like they was in Wong.
Yeah. Yeah, they
So
do. I'm looking at
anyway,
them right now.
but they are terrifying looking. They look like almost like zombies that are like vampire zombies almost. It's like crazy looking. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway.
great. I mean, if they can do that and pull that off, I mean, that would be the way to go. If that's you want to start doing something different for Star Wars. Like
Yeah. There's so many great stories to pull from in
and
there.
and you can probably make the argument that I mean, I know they didn't want to invest the money, but you did this whole, 5-year publishing campaign with the High Republic,
Right.
and you introduced all these new characters, all these new Jedi, all these new bad guys. Not just the Nihil, but then the was it the Dengar,
The
which was the
Denver.
yeah. So you introduce all these different ways that Jedi were challenged back then, because there was no Sith that we knew of.
That we
Obviously,
know of.
you had Plagueis out there somewhere, but you could have. I mean, again, it would have been a lot of money, but you could have made some movies of that instead, and kind of that could have been like a way to kind of get people excited for this. A little bit harder because it's a different era,
Right.
all new characters. This one, at least you have a familiarity with some, like having Rey in it, and then probably bringing other characters that were from the sequel trilogy and things like that. So
Right.
we'll see. Hopefully that's what happens.
That we will.
Okay, really quick before we get to the other news, on the release calendar. So the new Bad Batch novel dropped called Sanctuary, which takes place right after season 2. So Tech is still around.
Oh, great. Another book we're behind on.
I know, and it's getting pretty good praise.
Good.
The audiobook is out there with Mark Thompson, who narrated, which is the narrator of all narrators.
He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. And then The Last Order comes out October 21st, and then the Master of Evil, Darth Vader novel, November 11th. You got some comics. Legacy of Vader number 7 just came out. Jedi Knights number 6 next week. Star Wars number 4 is August 20th. You got Dr. Aphra August 27th. And then a brand new series, short series, Han Solo, Hunt for the Falcon, number 1 drops September 3rd. So
Okay.
some new comics coming that way. Okay, so the other bit of news, Hannah, why don't you told me about it. Why don't you say what's happening?
All right. So at this point, we're all aware that Ryan Gosling is being cast in a new Star Wars movie. That's pretty much been confirmed.
Totally confirmed.
But
Starfighter.
Yeah, Starfighter. But now there are rumors, and based on the sources, it's kind of like, is this actually true? It might be true. Matt Smith has been cast as the villain of Starfighter.
Yes. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it was just a matter of time before Matt Smith found his way into a Star Wars film.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
I think he's a great actor. He did a great job in House of Dragons. He did a great job in Doctor Who. He did it like he's done so much work. It was just a matter of time before he made it into a Star Wars film. I'm just kind of surprised he didn't play a Bond villain first.
True. Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously, yeah, I don't. I knew of I know of Matt Smith. You know, he's an English actor
Yes.
that I feel like he's done a lot of. You know, he hasn't really done a lot of what you would call popcorn movies. He's
No.
done a lot of films, though. I mean, I feel like he's one of those kind of like, not on, I don't want to say the wrong level, but I kind of had at first I kind of had Johnny Depp in mind, but like has done a lot of like big mainstream movies.
Yeah.
But you know, Johnny at first was like he was just doing like roles that he just wanted to do and not really
Yeah.
care about the commercial aspect of those films. But I'm not a. I think you are. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I don't watch Doctor Who.
I'm not a Whosian, but I am a fan of Doctor Who. Like,
Oh, okay.
like if you were to be like, Doctor Eight, blah blah blah, I'd be like, yeah, you lost me. Sorry, but I know enough about Doctor Who, and I've
Yeah.
seen enough episodes to be a fan of the show, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What's funny about Doctor Who that I didn't know it for a long time was, so Doctor Who that's his name, right? Doctor Who.
No, he's called the Doctor. His name's
He's
not
called-
Doctor Who.
What? Oh, so it is like a question. Doctor Who?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like,
Oh,
I'm the
it
Doctor.
is.
Like, yeah, he's like, I'm the Doctor. Doctor Who? Exactly.
Okay, so I did
The
not.
Doctor.
So that's what I thought, but for some reason I thought I
Right,
read
okay.
somewhere like his name is Doctor Who, but I guess that makes more sense that it's Doctor Who,
I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm Googling now because all of a sudden,
because I've never seen a single episode of Doctor Who, so I don't know anything about it. And he was Doctor Who from
okay, so the thing is, he's known as the Doctor. That's not his real name. His real name is something that's like kept a secret.
oh, okay.
But whenever he introduces himself, he goes, I'm the Doctor.
Oh, okay. And he's like a scientist, I guess, right? Or like what kind of doctor is he?
Like, so he is, I guess, a scientist in layman's terms, a good way to put it, but his responsibility is to make sure all timelines go appropriately.
Okay. So
And
he
then
like
nothing's
he's like he like works for the TVA in a sense.
But there is no TVA. He is the TVA.
Well, yeah, I understand. But I mean like that's kind of
Yeah.
the responsibility you're saying.
Yes. Like
Okay.
there's one heartbreaking episode, and it's actually with David Tennant, not Matt Smith, where they're at Pompeii and the Doctor always has a companion. Doesn't have to be romantic, can be platonic, can be like they just have a companion. And the Doctor's companion in that one, I think it was either Rose or Donna, but I'm pretty sure it was Rose. Like she didn't like fall in romantic love, but she fell in platonic love with this family, and Pompeii was about to explode. And his companion was like, "We got to save them," and he's like, "I can't." And well, we got to do something to prevent Pompeii from exploding. This is history.
Yeah.
It's what happened. Like, so that's when you go, oh, this is a rough job. And then they like cycle through different lives and things like that. So very fascinating stuff.
Interesting.
I will still
I
stand
mean,
by-
it sounds like something I would like, but I just never ever tried it. So
Yeah, I think you would. I'm a huge fan of Donna as the companion, but that's also because I think Donna and David Tennant are such a great.
yeah.
What's
Yeah.
Donna's? Oh, that's not her real name. Actress.
So he was also
Catherine Tate. Catherine Tate and
Oh.
David Tennant have great chemistry. They did a Shakespeare play together. It was so funny.
Nice. So I would say, his three biggest things have been Doctor Who, and then he played Prince Philip in The Crown.
Oh, that's right, The Crown. I was trying to remember the third TV show he was in, The
Yes.
Crown.
And then, of course, he is Daemon Targaryen in House of the Dragon, which is still
Yep.
going on. That next season is coming soon. And he's been in several films, none I really recognize. I mean, I know he was in Terminator Genesis, but that movie
Hmm.
didn't really do well. But he was in Morbius, which really didn't do well. So other movies, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, but The Forgiven. But that's not The Forgiven I know. Anyway, so he is, yeah, apparently, like you said, in the trades now are reporting. Hollywood Reporter and all that stuff are saying that he is the villain in Starfighter. So we'll see. That's interesting. I mean, that's a good cast. Ryan Gosling so far, Matt Smith, Sean Levy, directing this thing. Seems like it's going to be now. And this thing apparently is starting to shoot here in October. So
Oh, dang.
yeah, so we should start hearing a little bit more cast and start getting a little bit more about the story. I mean, the story we do know is, we don't really know what the villain part of it is.
Right.
The Ryan Gosling part of it is I believe I remember reading that he's like traveling with his nephew or something like that, and they kind of get lost, and they run into Matt Smith, and
Who knows? Who knows
and
what?
adventure ensues, and we'll see what Starfighter actually means. If he's a fighter pilot, or if he becomes a fighter pilot, who knows? We'll see.
No idea.
But I don't think they've announced the release date of this thing yet. But
I don't even know if they announced a year.
you know what? I don't know if they have either. I
Oh,
would get.
2027?
Oh, okay. Is it May 27?
No, it's just IMDb.
Oh, okay. So they don't have a date yet.
Oh, interesting. So it says 2027. Written by Jonathan Tropper. This is according to IMDb. And not only do we have Ryan Gosling and Matt Smith listed here, but we also have Mia Goth.
Yeah, I think that's a rumor too. That's not been official either.
Right,
but
I'm just saying this is what's on IMDb.
yes, I think I did read that as well. But if she's on there, it might be real.
I don't know what's real on IMDb anymore, but that's what's
Wow.
on
Yeah.
IMDb. They have Ryan Gosling, Mia Goth, Matt Smith, Jonathan Tropper as the writer, Sean Levy as the director. Coming out 2027, and somewhere I read it was a standalone movie.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Yep,
is.
Sean Levy
It
stated
is.
the movie is a standalone. It's not a prequel nor a sequel. It's a new adventure set in a
Yes,
period we haven't explored yet, which is all stuff we already know.
it's right. Yeah, maybe like 4 or 5 years after episode 9, I think, something like that.
Okay, so this is interesting. According to IMDb, it's supposed to release May 28th, 2027.
Yeah, I actually think I think they did release that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be filming in London, apparently.
Yep, that's true.
Anyway.
That's why you can get these British actors, not put them up.
Yep.
So there you go. Starting to take shape for the next film getting shot. I think the Ray movie has been delayed a little bit. I don't think because they were supposed to start shooting this summer, but that didn't happen. So Starfighter looks like it's going to be the next one after Mandalorian and Grogu, which is set to come out May of 26. So we got 2 movies coming out in the next 2 years. So I guess that's the best we can hope for.
Indeed.
And then of course, we got some shows coming out, Ahsoka season 2 and Maul. And you know what? I think that's the only series we know is coming out. Is Ahsoka, I think.
There's so much up in the air,
Yeah.
but nothing's like.
I mean, they really cut back.
You know what? If that means it's going to be better quality, then
Ultra
I'm not going
quality.
to
Yeah,
complain.
I know. All right. That's all I got, Hannah.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah. So some good stuff there, though. We'll be back next week. Hopefully, there's some other news that we can talk about.
We'll figure something out.
The only content that we know about that's coming is Visions is still coming out here soon.
Yes.
I believe that's coming out very soon, right? Let's just see. Do you have a Visions? Visions season 3? I don't know if they said it. I don't think they have a release date of it yet, do they? I don't think so. I think it's just, huh?
Said I'm checking.
Yeah, I think it's just
It says
fall.
2025.
Yeah, I think it's this fall sometime. So, oh, actually, I see something that says Wednesday. What does that say? Shoot. I think it says October 29th.
Really?
I see an article. It says season 3 would debut Wednesday, October 29th on Disney Plus. I don't know why, but that's not on official Star Wars, so don't quote me on that.
Oh, no. I'm looking at StarWars.fandom.com right now. And it says the volume was announced on November 20th, 2024. The titles of the shorts were revealed April 19th, 2025. And the season will be released on October 29th, 2025.
Oh, there you go. Okay, October 29th. So we still got like 2 months till that thing comes out, 2.5 months.
Yep.
So
it'll be here before you know it.
Oh, it's right before Halloween. Yep. So
Right before Halloween.
Right before Halloween. All right. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks,
for
Dave.
Popping on here. Get some sleep. You got to get up early, I know, and go enjoy yourself at a little tour or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, sure thing. Scouts. You gotta love those scouts.
Yes. Thanks, everybody, for everything, joining us. Thanks to our patrons, as always. Go check out our next council sessions. Me and Martin talking about the Lucas legacy, and we'll be back next week with Hannah, I believe, right? You're not going to be out of town next week, are you?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think I am either. I think I'm in here for till the end of September. Then I'm heading out to Disneyland.
Oh, that'll be fun. I'm here until second.
Are you going to make it out to Disneyland at any point, or what?
At this point, no.
No? Okay. It's the 70th anniversary out there right now.
I know it is.
I know. That's going to be fun. All right, everybody. Take care. Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you, Dave.
See you all next week. May the Force be with you.